Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hilka empath, and I just like doing these little talks on my feelings about things. And I already did a little talk today, but I want to do this little quick follow up. I'm not going to stay on too long. I yammered on about 20, the longest video I ever did earlier today. And so, anyway, I wanted to follow up. What I did do is I went ahead and I went to that metaphysical fair, whatever. Did a walkthrough. Made some eye contact with folks, makes what people just aren't real warm and receptive. People don't like looking at me in the eye. They just don't. And they think I'm the one that don't like looking at people in the eye. No, people don't like. It's the other way around. Anyway, so, yeah, readings, 85, $100 an hour. Just like, man, spirituality ain't for poor people, I tell you what, because if somebody was really hurting, that worked at McDonald's, that's a freaking whole day and a half of pay for them, man. That's why I'm like, I just share what I know. Because it freaking whatever makes me feel better. And that's what made me feel better today was getting out of my head. Getting out of that space, We're all just a work in progress. At least I'd pick up the tools, I'd used to leave them laying down. Yeah, there are the tools down there. I'm not going to pick them up, though. I'm not going to use them. I'm not going to do anything to make myself feel better. I'm just going to sit in my justifiable anger and rage and pout. No, I don't do that anymore. I go do the next right action. No, it didn't work out how I wanted, and I didn't meet my next best friend or anything like that. But you know what happened? I had a few synchronicities, and that's all I needed to get me right back on course, So that's all I needed. I was at the restaurant or I was at the and I was leaving metaphysical fair, and I was leaving, and I was like, God, I just want like a home cooked meal, something that tastes like home cook. And I said, I'm not really in gratitude today, so maybe I can find a decent meal, raise my vibe, and I don't want to cook. And so across the street there was Almost Home restaurant, and I was like, all right, go in there, look at the menu. Look at that, they have like a turkey dinner. I got that. Why? Because I'm not in gratitude, and I need to be reminded of gratitude. And what else can remind you of gratitude than turkey dinner? When I was growing up, Mom always gave us the choice. You want a turkey pot pie and eat the rest of the month? Or you want one big meal and try and get that to stretch? So we were on a tight budget. We didn't always have enough food. Thank God we had a roof over our head most of the time. There's a period, my brother wasn't with us, it was just me and Mom. We lived out of the car at her friend's house for about 7 weeks. Counts. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're talking about today. So I went and got some victuals at the restaurant across the street, and then I walked across, and then I went for a little walk and just, run into some random people and just have random conversations and just remind you of part of the world again, Sometimes people have really small, tiny worlds and they forget. I was watching a Flippy Flippin' Flurly Twirls. I've been being able to find a whole lot of stuff that I'm really enjoying. It's really resonating with me on anywhere, really, and I've been watching Scrubs in the evening, and it's just weird, how we're reminded of things. Here's another synchronicity. It's like a storyline I watched yesterday was a young gal. Her name was Shannon. That was like my ex's name, and she was dying of ALS, and she was working with Dr. Reed because she had tried to commit suicide or took a wrong pill reaction, and then one of the doctors like mistakenly told her what she needed to do. She's like, well, whatever you do, don't do this because that could kill you. And then the girl's like, yeah, okay, that's what I'll do. And then anyway, storyline continues from there. But it's just weird because Shannon, it was when Jen and I dated, that ice bucket challenge thing came back, or it happened. That was years back, and I remember paying like $100 because I wasn't gonna freaking record myself. I thought that was dumb, dumping a bucket of ice water. So I just made $100 donation into Shannon's grandma's name to the ALS, you know, to cure ALS or whatever. I was a sucker too, you know. You know what occurred to me is it reminds me that, you know, all these energetic, all these endocrine breakdowns that people are having, you know, all these everybody's getting more sensitive. That's what's the world, people on the sensitive, or I mean, think about it. I mean, how many people do you know, like when I went out today, it was only supposed to be like mid 70s, but like when I'm in the sun, it like feels like it's like 80, 90. I'm like, how, like it burns, you know? And the sun ain't hotter. It's me more sensitive, you know? Now what there's no way to actually, you know, prove. It's a combination of a lot of things. You know, Addison's disease. I'm diagnosed with Addison's disease. I have a lot of the markers for that, you know. So from the get-go, my endocrine system was compromised, and then, you know, you grow up and they put freaking stuff in you, and you eat this and you eat that. And it takes you a little less away from nature, because the more junk you eat, the more less natural you are, you know? It's taking you away from your organic state. And, you know, people do it out of time, necessity, whatever. But they don't take the time or care or necessity to freaking eat decent quality food. So, a lot of people are all jacked up. I mean, freaking diabetes, 1 and 2, just all these dis-ease. All these diseases are just dis-ease, you know? People are unhappy and freaking miserable, so they eat. Well, makes you put on weight. When you put on weight, you feel bad. Put stress on all your bones and all your joints and stuff. Then you feel bad. So what do? What do people do? They eat more or they drink. It's just like, isn't it a lot easier that people just start talking about their feelings? You know? All the terrible stuff that happened to them before, you know, meet other people, terrible stuff happens, so you can talk about the terrible stuff that happened to your life, so everybody could get past the terrible stuff and start making a life worth living in a world worth living in. That's the veil that needs to come down. This veil of secrecy and, oh, I'm fine. No, dude, you're not fine. I can tell by looking at people. They ain't fine. There are people all over the frickin' world that are just not fine. So, what do? That's a tough question. Today, the answer might be different, a little bit different than the answer might be for me tomorrow, you know? But as long as I ask myself every day, what can I do to add to this world? It's one of the reasons why I do these videos. It's another is a video journal. My mom has memory problems. You know, she had a stroke when she was 38. I don't know if that is going to be my future or not. If it is, you know, I have a lot of really cool history. A lot of things I've done in my life, in the first part of my life, and I hope to do more, but God forbid the creek don't rise. I don't. I want an account of all the things that I'd done before, you know. People don't really understand me right. I'm real rough around the edges. I've always been a tomboy and never really been a girly girl. I can pull it off. I clean up nice. I'm really, really freaking beautiful with makeup on. Freaking gorgeous, really. I mean, these features. Mom always says you're so modest. But I'm just like, well, I recognize that I'm an attractive human being, you know. It's just the rest of the world that sees me as some sort of freaking wonky weirdo. It's them, not me, Mom. It was like that dude in that show. It was Mom last season. He's like, you know, believe it or not, what the rest of the world believes, I recognize myself to be a pretty good catch, you know. So I'm gonna hold out and wait for somebody that sees that in me too. Anyway, I just wanted to check back in and say that this day ended better than it began, and you know, so you gotta start your day over a time or two, and that's all I got. Hope you have a rad evening. Peace.